I didn't get some of the speakers as a co-host. So guys, just try to be cognizant of the fact that you can unmute yourself. So sometimes we do that by accident when we try to turn off our camera, perhaps to use the restroom or different things like that. So I don't know if you guys saw some of that this weekend. I know that I did on the GoPro, so just try to remember that your cameras might be on and we can probably hear you. So good evening. First of all, big waves out there. Hello, hello, hello. I love you guys. I am fired up this weekend. If you guys were part of the GoPro event, you might be a little bit fried and then a little bit like you are on like mass amounts of caffeine, maybe more than caffeine. I don't really know, but I'm not sure what my mood is at this moment. I'm so wired and exhausted, all wrapped up at once. So if you guys are anything like me, that might be where you are as well. I'm trying to see, I've got somebody unmuted. So just kind of keep an eye on your microphones, folks, because you might get unmuted because you can. So we have a phenomenal call lined up for tonight, and I'm super excited about it. But before we jump into the meat, I've got some to share. So let me share my screen here. And it says Sunday night with me and Coach Palmer, but we don't have him tonight. You're stuck with me, but we've got tons of guests. So I promise it's still going to be fantastic. But want to let you guys know, remind you of our enrollment promo. So if you have not seen this yet, or maybe you've got a few of your enrollments for the mastermind taking place in February, but you've got some more that you need to get, go get them and use this. I actually have a gentleman that I have been working on forever. Like, he's kind of driving me nuts. I'm kind of over it actually. But you know, I'm not turning anybody away just yet. But this was how I got him today, because I'm like, look, you ask me a question a week and I'm kind of done answering questions. You have a time limit. Right now you can get started for free. There's no, cost to join the business. Maybe it's time to get off the pot. Like, let's do it. So looks like that's working. We'll see. He said he's going to do it himself. I'll let you guys know tomorrow. But if you've got anybody like that you can kick off the fence, take advantage of it. They get started with 200 people, the $29 30 much enrollment fee is gone. If they get started with 250 PV, then they get the free noni shot. So get them. Next, want to talk to you guys really briefly before we jump into the meat of the call about the Destin event. We are over 40% booked already. It is December. The event's not until February. So I think that tells you it's going to book. And I know that maybe you're used to a little bit of hype. I don't know if you've heard this in network marketing, but we can hype things up. Well, guys, I'm not a hyper. I can get hyper, but I don't hype things up. I have a hard limit on this room. So if you do not get your ticket before they sell out, there's nothing I can do, and I don't want you to get mad at me. So please go get yourself registered. It's going to be phenomenal. And I honestly don't know if there's rooms left. So if you haven't got your room, try it and let me know. But hopefully, where they had just added more rooms to our block last week, hopefully, if we didn't fill those up, we still have more. If we did, maybe they'll give us some more. And I know there's lots of other local hotels, but this is a great deal. So please get registered. Don't miss it. And then Thursday, so just, 4 days, 4 more days, 5 more days, we have these Christmas promos, these holiday promos go away. So if you have not done those personal purchases, go make them. If you've got some customers that you're looking to kick off the fence, these are some great deals, and they're pretty much buy one, get one free for a variety of different products. So go check those out. Tons of different holiday promos going on, and I'll show you in loyalty. So this is what I ordered today. So if you're not sure, you're like, there are a million items in loyalty. Maybe you want my opinion, maybe you don't, but I'm unmuted, so you're gonna get it. These are the products that I ordered today because I'm excited about them. One, the probiotics. I got 3 bottles of the probiotics. I do not go a day without it. I don't let my daughter go a day without it. If my son ever learns how to swallow a pill, he has not figured that out yet. But as soon as he does, I'll have him on these. I love the probiotics. I got the oatmeal soap because I hadn't tried it before and it's like $4. So why wouldn't I? I got a bunch. I'm going to throw them in stockings. The sleep shots, I never want to be without because they work and they work really, really well. The face serum, I got as many of those as I could. I think I got 3 of those because I love that. Burn, I never want to be without. If there's anybody on here that hasn't tried Burn, go grab it on Loyalty. It's a phenomenal price. And then Pure Nourish, did you see that? We were out forever. Now, not only is it back, but it's on sale. So go get yourself some Pure Nourish. But that's the housekeeping for tonight. And now I'm going to move over to the meat of the call. And I'm just so excited. So guys, if you were a part of this GoPro weekend, you know that there was so much information. And sometimes it can be hard to really pare that down to what you need to know. And so what I found really helpful last year when they did this is that we kind of talked after and people shared their nuggets. And almost it's so interesting when you hear it from the mouth of your friend, of your peer, of the person that you know, they can change it enough that it means more to you. And so maybe you missed it. Maybe you didn't do GoPro. Maybe you cannot stand Eric Worre. I don't know, but maybe you weren't a part of it. And this can be almost your cheat. That's the goal. This could be your cheat where you can say, okay, what can I pull out of it? So I asked just a couple of the faces that I saw on there because I couldn't see everybody this year, but a couple of the faces that I saw on there. And I said, jump on here with me and just share your nugget of, what's the thing that you feel brought you the most value? What's the thing, if everybody on your team could hear just one thing from this weekend, what would you share? And so that's what I have no idea what anybody's going to say, but I'm excited to hear from everybody. And we're going to kick it off with Anthony. And just so you know, I'm not playing favorites. If I messaged you, in the order of your response is how you're coming on here. So Anthony was the fastest. I don't think that shocks anybody, but Anthony was the fastest. So Ant, you're up first. If you wouldn't mind just sharing your takeaway for us tonight.
Hey everybody. Happy Sunday. Yes, my biggest takeaway, Andrea, and I believe everybody probably say the same thing, but it's something that pretty much majority of the speakers said, and it was, you just got to make a decision. And, at the end of the day, you just got to make a decision. I think that comes down to whether you want to weight loss, you want to grow your business, you want to be better at a leader, anything. You got to make a decision. It comes down to making a decision, Andrea. So I believe if it was anything I had to tell somebody, it would be like, hey, you got to make a decision for you, for your family, for the people you love. And if you want to be that example, you just got to make a decision. So my biggest takeaway was make a decision, because I heard it so many times. It's just like, make a decision, make a decision, make a decision. Oh, you got to make a decision. Or I made a decision and that's how I got X, Y, and Z. And so that's my biggest takeaway.
Well, I love it. Thank you so much. And I'm going to try to write these down. So I know some of you might be better note takers. If that's your skill, you write them down and share them with us, but I'm going to try. So after Anthony, we have Jayne Rouse. I can't see you, Jayne, but you should be able to unmute yourself. There you are.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. And I took notes to share with you, and what I want to share is about building a brand. I think that's important to me because it's something I'm working on right now. So you want to ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? Even in 5 years, what do you want people to think about when they think about you? So there's 3 parts to building a brand, and there's really no right or wrong. It's just that you want to be clear and consistent, because then you will attract your people. So the first thing is your energy, then it's your appearance and social media. So for energy, what kind of energy do you exude? What type defines you? What's your vibration? So are you positive or negative? Do people think about you as happy or sad? High energy or low energy? encouraging or discouraging, spiritual or agnostic. Those are just some of them that you can think about when you're thinking about what type of energy would define you. The other is appearance. And really, again, there's no right or wrong. It's just that you need to be intentional. So whatever it is, do it on purpose. So think about your clothing, your hair, your makeup. How do you leave your house? How do you show up on social media and in your neighborhood? And then the third thing is social media. Does your social media reflect your brand? So is it reflected on all of your platforms? And those should include Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So think about your photography, your logo and name, and those are the things that I'm working on right now. So keeping in your daily posts, your stories, your reels, which we have on Instagram, and some of us have it on Facebook, reels too. So I'm going to close with my favorite speaker, which is Lisa Nichols. And she talks about when you are thinking about your business and how you're growing, how many times are you looking for it not to work? So when we're looking at it that way, then we start looking for evidence that says, yep, see, that's why it's not working. So instead of that, think about maybe you're not flying right now, but what's important is how many times you get back up. The valleys prepare you for the mountaintop. Someone is waiting for you to get back up. Someone is waiting, someone is watching. So even though we can't hear their applause, she talks about that they are noticing. So go and be the light for someone, the hope for someone, and keep showing up and getting up.
Jayne, that was beautiful. Such a great lesson. Thank you so much for paring that down for all of us. And Valerie Randall, we would love to hear your takeaways, lady.
Hi, everybody. I'm glad I get to go next because I was making these notes on what I wanted to share in this, like the last 20, 30 minutes right before we came on. And one of the things I wrote down was exactly what Jayne said about building your brand. And I had almost exactly the same notes that she had. Another thing that I want to add to that is when you're posting, every post you want to bring value. If it doesn't add value to somebody, like you want to be intentional with your posting. So it should include humility, education, entertainment, and it should also motivate. So a call to action on every post. And then the next thing that I wanted to highlight was I absolutely loved Ed Mylett. His section, his presentation had me in tears. I was bawling. My eyes hurt so bad last night. It was just so good. He said we need to be in the happiness business because that's the thing that most people are looking for. They want to be happy. So that's the thing that we want to sell is happiness. So if you are having a presentation or something, try to end it with this. I believe you'll be happy here. Like I truly believe that you will be happy here. And so let's see, your mess doesn't disqualify you for God to repurpose you, was another thing that he said that I put an asterisk and a star and I underlined and I highlighted. And things don't happen to me, they happen for me. So everything that you're going through now is on purpose. And you want to make sure that you share that to the world because you never know who you're going to inspire from what you've been going through. Because you're going to get through it and you're going to be able to help them be able to get through the same thing. So I have some more, but I'll leave it at that because then other people can have a chance.
Well, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, Valerie. And I love this because I didn't hear that. I completely missed, I don't know how, I missed Ed Mylett. So I didn't get any of that message. So I'm so glad you did. And I'll have to buy the replay when it comes out because I want to hear it. So next we have John, and I believe I see Antoinette. That is a rare treat. So I'm so excited. Hopefully we're going to get to hear from both of you. So John and Antoinette, you are next. And hopefully you can unmute yourself. There you go. That's beautiful.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for asking us to come on and share. Yeah, the event was just phenomenal. I was listening to what Valerie, to me, the one that really hit me was Ed Mylett. There was a lot of people that really spoke. I'm not the note taker, so you are going to hear from Antoinette, but I will say that I'm not an emotional guy typically, but I got emotional several times in the last 3 days. It really was it was a gut check. It just, to me, it really represents what the kind of business we're in. And especially with our company, we are in the perfect time at the perfect place with the perfect leadership. So anyways, what kind of notes do you have?
Well, one of the, I took away a ton of things, as everybody that was on there knows. There's so much information. And we've been to many GoPros, and we do feel like this was probably the best one out of all of them. We've been live a few times.
Twice, yep.
And then we've been to the online events, as well as being a part of the accelerator program.
Last
so
year,
we've been very involved with Eric Corey's GoPro. So there's a lot of things that we've heard, and the one thing that you'll realize is you hear a lot of the same things over, which is a clue, right? Because they always say success leaves clue. So one of the things that really stood out to me, and it's always based on the season and the time of your life that you're in, and that is to give yourself permission to dream and succeed. Give yourself permission. It's okay to be successful. Abundance is our birthright. Being happy, wealthy, healthy, it's our birthright. And it should be okay to have that and to be that, and to step into the power that's within each and every one of us, that each and every one of us already has, and not be afraid to let your own light shine. Too many times, a lot of us are bogged down by, the worrying about what other people think, or feeling like we're not good enough, or we haven't done enough, or made enough money, or we don't live in the right house, drive the right car. It's not about that. When you get out of your own way and you focus on others and what they need, then it allows you to really have everything that you've ever wanted, because that's going to come to you. And stop allowing your past to hinder you. What Valerie said, that was one of my takeaways too. Things don't happen to you, they happen for you. What if everything that's ever happened to you was your setup for where you are right now? That you're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
That every situation was building you, was growing you, was developing you, was making you the stronger person that you need to be for where you are right now, because you're meant to impact somebody else. Because each and every one of us on this call are not going to reach the same people.
That's
We're
right.
all going to reach different people.
Yeah.
And so we must take what happened, whatever has happened to us, whether it was our own doing or something else that happened. And we need to stop being victims and be victors, and decide to change our perspective and turn it around for the good, because everything that you've ever gone through just sets you up to help somebody else in the future. So let me just glance here, realize,
She couldn't say a thing 5 years ago, by the way.
So just realize, you're going to go through tests, and every test that you go through, there's a reason for it. And if we look at it for what's the bigger purpose and the reason and the outcome, it makes it that much easier to go through. It'll make it easier. It doesn't mean it doesn't get hard at times, so it makes it easier. So, and the other thing is, you're not a late bloomer. You're blooming right when you need to bloom.
Yes.
Right. So
Amen.
seeds
Amen.
have been planted. Feed those seeds, water those seeds, nourish and tend those seeds, and wait for the harvest to come.
Yeah. And again, thank you so much, Andrea, for asking us to come on. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Always excited to hear from you. So next we have Marlene Trenholm. So Marlene, if you wouldn't mind sharing, thank you.
Well, I'm happy to share. And I've never been to GoPro Live, but I have been for the last 8 years attending virtually. And God bless people like Anthony and all of you who stand at the back of the room and FaceTime or Zoom us into the things that we can't come across the border to participate in. But for the first many years of watching GoPro, it was like that. It was like somebody was standing at the back of the room FaceTiming us in. Last year and this year with the studio, it's been like we've been there in a front row seat, and it's just been phenomenal. I love the panels. I love the breakout rooms, the people you get to talk to, they're fantastic. And the nuggets of information that you take away. The one-liners that come out from people are absolutely phenomenal. Things like work full-time at your job, work part-time on your fortune. You can't sow seeds and reap your harvest in the same season. Walk alone till you find the right people. And you are one person, one recruit away from changing your entire business. And then just like back when we were in school with the reading, writing, and arithmetic, the 3 R's, the refocusing, the reminders, and the repetition that we heard throughout the weekend. Things like focus, commitment, belief, just do it. Don't play small. Leave the distractions behind. Take action. Make a decision. Know your why. Have vision. Decide. Act as if. All of those things that just kept hammering home to us and said by so many different people, so that if you didn't get it from one, you got it from another. And I love the branding session, the social media, Pedro, Dean Graziosi, 90 days, all of those things were great. But I think for me, one of the highlights was the network marketing objections debate. And of course, Lisa Nichols. Now, on our book club, we've been reading her book, Abundance Now, and we'll wrap it up tomorrow morning. And so she's fresh in my mind, and I've been following her for a long time. So listening to her was absolutely phenomenal. And hearing her say, be ready, be willing, let's go, let's grow. It's Tonka time.
Who all wants a Tonka truck now? Like, I love that. I love everything you shared, Marlene. I'll tell you, I did the Tonka truck thing with my kids last night. I thought that was so powerful. So next up, thank you, Marlene. We have Mac or Franklin McDaniel. You should be able to, there you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think if I were going to do this correctly, I would hit the play button from the last 3 days and I wouldn't have to talk at all. Somebody Friday or Saturday, all the days have kind of run together, asked, who was your favorite? And I had made that comment at that time that when you're dealing with rock stars, they're all terrific. I think, and several people have mentioned Ed Mylett. I was not familiar with him. And the way he talked about his father was very special. And my ego's not so big. I was crying. But he talked about a brand, and it really hit home, especially on some things that have been going on the last few weeks for me. And when he talked about a brand, he said, it's not about ourselves, it's about we. And when we're working the business, we need to make a decision. We have to love our team members. We have to care for our team members, and we have to believe in our team members. And all of that was very important. One other point that one other speaker, Lisa Nichols, she got me crying also. She talked about when she had gone to the hotel and her grandmother had made her leave a tip because her grandmother had been a chambermaid. My grandmother came over on the boat, and that she scrubbed floors and cleaned toilets. And I have a lot of things, not because she made a lot of money. She was never a wealthy person, but she raised me until I was in the 9th grade. My dad left when I was real young. My mom went to work. My grandmother lived with us. She was the matriarch of our family. And I owe her so much because she taught me how to be strong. And that hit me. I got to do this. I got to do this for my kids, my grandkids, and the grandkids, I don't know yet. As long as they're all named Frank, that's okay. So anyway, that's what I got out of it.
Well, thank you so much. And I love that, something's really powerful when it can make people from all walks of life cry. Like, we're all so different. And I think we all probably had some really big emotions this weekend. And that's how we know that they did a really great job. So Robin DeMio, if you wouldn't mind sharing, you're up next.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here. All of you beautiful people, you should give yourself a round of applause. Look at how many people are on here for more training, as if we haven't had enough for 3 days. And so many of my team on here. I just love that. And if you listen to all the people that have shared so far, and probably the ones that'll share after me, you'll hear, what are you hearing? There's a common thread that goes through, and that is the inspiration. It's the story. It's the story that tells. It's the story that brings people's emotion. And, Tony Robbins, even though he was on a video, he talked about the motion and emotion, how our emotions move us. And when we are hit with something with emotion, it sticks. That's why the bad stuff sticks too, because we have emotion with it, right? And so I just want to say, wow, you guys, well done for everyone sharing. And there's a couple of things, that I learned that weren't even taught publicly from the stage. And all of them were my favorite. You know how that is. Everybody's your favorite because you learn so much. And when you get emotionally driven by it or moved by it. But Pedro Adeo, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Pedro, you guys know who he is. Now, I have followed Pedro for a couple of years, and I've known him from another side of my life, the spiritual side of my life. I've seen him do some, some motivational, biblically based teachings and that kind of stuff. And here he is on GoPro. I'm like, what the heck? Like, I knew him when he went to Mozambique. And so he said this, and it really struck me because this is my story. And he said, if you are called here, if you're called, that is what happened to me. I was called here. I was praying for something better, something more for my health. And Tammy Maltby showed up in my life with a cake. Are you kidding me? With a cake. It wasn't even a healthy cake. It was a cake. It was a big, fat, heavy cake. But I was called, and it took through a series of events. I had to figure out that this is what I'm supposed to do. So are you supposed to do this? Is this your purpose? And so he said, if you are called, you show up. And sometimes we lose sight of that. Sometimes we lose sight of that. And so, and I was going to share a lot of the things that Pedro talked about, but I want to share this about one of my team members who I encouraged to come to GoPro just a few days ago, and how this has moved me. This is my call. My call is to inspire you. My call is to do what God has called me to do. And that is to help someone out of a rut, to help somebody with something that I have in my hand. And so I chatted with this team member a few days ago and said, I think you really should go to GoPro. And I think that we can find you a ticket for the $97. And this team member jumped on board. And now this team member has been bawling the whole weekend and learning, and really has decided to get a fire under their bottom. And isn't that nice? I said good words, Andrea. I didn't swear. And so, so if you're called, then show up. And when you find your people, you will find your purpose. So have you found your people? That's what Pedro said. When you find your people, you will find your purpose. And I will say this, you guys, just very vulnerably here, you guys know me to be that way. Sometimes, even if you're a rock star, sometimes you lose sight of your purpose. You lose sight of who your tribe is, and so Tammy always says, find your tribe and love them hard. And so I want to encourage you, team up with somebody. Here's something else. I don't know who said this, but who was it? Maybe it was Jessie Lee. She said, you don't have to be in a race with somebody against them if they're in the same company and they're cross-line. Okay, so you can team up with somebody that's not in your downline or your upline. You can team up with somebody that's cross-line. And that's what I've chosen to do as well. And so I'm doing that with somebody for the accelerator program. And I want to encourage you guys. Here's some practicals real quick about what Pedro said. Get a period of time for 5 to 90 days and do a challenge. That presents a sense of urgency for someone. So you are challenging other people and you're challenging yourself from 5 to 90 days. Then everyone in the challenge commits to taking action. You deliver a live daily with actionable training. So you're giving a live on your social every day. Commit to doing that. Challenge yourself, even if you only do it for 5 days. It will really change your life. And then results are driven focus on the one primary outcome. So you want to focus on results and overcome obstacles with daily assignments that build momentum. So those are the practical things, but I want to encourage you. It's the excitement and the enthusiasm that builds your fire. You don't have to know how to do it. You don't have to know the steps A, B, C, and D. You can just jump. And when you jump, your parachute will show up. You will, somebody said today to me, I'm at the end of my rope. Well, guess what? Let go, take the big dive, and let God take you where you're supposed to go. So that's my share. Thanks for letting me share, Andrea.
Robin, I love how you put things, and those were great, great messages. So thank you so much for that. Next, we have Joy. So Joy Muhlestein, if you wouldn't mind sharing your takeaway with us.
All right. So mine's kind of discombobbled in my brain. I started working night shifts on Friday. I go back into night. And in the process, I've caught speakers here and there, but I know that the Lord spoke to me because I heard the ones I needed to hear. And what I needed to hear was, one, we're all worthy of greatness. If you look in the mirror and you see something other than greatness, you need to look again. Because the Lord didn't bring us here for non-greatness, for mediocrity. We have to dig deep and we have to find our greatness. We're worthy of that and we deserve that. And along with that, people are craving positivity, happiness, gratitude. And are you aligning yourself with those three words? And I'm going to tell you that in the past 2 years living in California, which is land of craziness, I've found myself more and more out of alignment with my life. More and more out of alignment with my spirit, my soul, my whatever you want to call it. And this weekend, it became clear. I've been called for a greater purpose, a greater calling. And that's what those speakers said to me this weekend, that this is a vehicle each and every people want an oracle, who want gratitude. People. No one is looking for two Andreas. No one is looking for two Joys. No one is looking for two John and Antoinettes. We're looking for someone that lights a spark in us. And I want to tell John and Antoinette that they came to mind this weekend when they were talking about being unique and being true to yourself, because I'm having a hard time allowing myself to become that. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for being your true selves. Thank you for unabashedly sharing who you are with the world, because that is what I'm working on. And that is why, even with having an 11-year-old's birthday this weekend, even working 3 night shifts and doing GoPro, I showed up for myself because I want to be unapologetically who I am, to show my spark to the world, to bring the joy that we have inside this community to others. This community has saved so many of us. One of us, especially me, because I've had that connection. So I hope that is what you wanted, but really and truly, it's you deserve greatness. You deserve happiness. And when you find that and you share it, people want to hear it. And I also learned that it's selfish to not share it.
Well, Joy, that was perfect. So thank you so much. And when you said that, like, did anybody else go, ooh, when she said, when you look in the mirror and you see anything else but greatness, look again. Like, I'm going to have to look a couple times because I know that's not what I'm seeing. Right. And so, wow, that was really powerful. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. So Faith Ford, you're up next. Thank you so much for sharing tonight.
Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it. So Dean Graziosi was my go-to guy. For whatever reason, I resonate with him. And one of the lines he said was, all change starts with being honest with yourself. And that hit home. I think at times we can become lost or unmotivated or whatever it might be per person. And so that one hit home. The second one was, we must take uncomfortable action. And I just thought, wow, that's kind of a big deal. And then Eric Worre brought up, he wants you to write a number down and then you double it and then you double it again. And I went, holy crap, this is going to be tough. So then it was, is your vision or your dream big enough? Does it scare you, or are you shaking in your shoes? So then I started thinking, well, I guess I need to be more comfortable with who I am. I need to be a little bit more stronger and not hide behind the shadows. I need to be fearless. And then I need to be uncomfortable to reach the goal. And my number is huge, the double. So it's like, uh-oh, this is going to be tough, but doable. Once you start writing the numbers down, it definitely is doable. We need to have more conviction of what our vision is and walking towards it. And also to be a better leader, to share it and set the examples. So the last thing was listen to your dream and chase your vision. Don't listen to the noise that's around you. So that was my aha, and it was like, yeah, I got this.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Thank you so much. The double, like I did a huge stretch. And then when they said double it, I'm like, I can't even say, my kids were listening. I'm like, I can't say that out loud. But I did, right? Like I did. And my son's like, yeah, I want that, because he's a little greedy monster. And then when they doubled it again, I went, oh my gosh, I can't even say that out loud. Like, you've got to be kidding me. But I did. My son was losing his mind then, cheering all, he's already spending it. But wow, that was a hard thing to have come, at least for me. I don't know about you guys. It was hard getting that out of my mouth. So thank you so much for sharing that, Faith. I appreciate you. So next we have Anna. And Anna, I apologize, I don't know how to say your last name. Jirsa?
Jirsa, you did it.
All right, well, then never mind, take it back. I don't apologize. So Anna, Jirsa, you're up. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. So my neck's a little sore from doing a lot of nodding of everybody that was before me. And I'm used to failures, as you can see the shirt, Vikings, another loss today. So I have been in some form of network marketing, I think, since I was 18. And what I learned this weekend, that I was really a network tourist. I didn't know what I didn't know. Can you hear me? We're good?
We can hear you. It's a little choppy, but we can hear you.
Sorry.
That's okay. Technology is a gift.
I don't have internet in my house either. So when they talked about McDonald's and their systems of 17-year-olds running those kitchens, and it's duplicatable, I'm like, that is what I've been missing for my team. I don't have systems in place for them to be able to duplicate it simply and share with people that they're bringing on. So I am definitely first and foremost going to come up with a simple system that is ironclad and that we can just keep rolling them in. One other thing, I spent some time in Germany when I was 10 to 15 years old. So the breakout rooms were absolutely phenomenal to me. I was able to be in a room with a gal from Australia, UK, and Canada. And they broke us out, and actually in those breakouts, we were the only ones there. So we got to talk about a lot more things. So it was really awesome, I thought, to connect with people around the world.
I love that. I love the international aspect of it. I don't know if you're frozen or if you were done, but I thought that was a great share. So thank you so much, Anna. I appreciate that. And that is a gift that we have this huge global community that we get to tap into. That was really powerful. I love that as well. And thank you. And next we have Lynette Hebrink. So Lynette, thank you so much for sharing with us this evening.
Thank you, Andrea, for asking me to share. I appreciate it. Well, as many of us have already said, it was phenomenal with the information that we learned this weekend. This was my second GoPro to attend, and it was great to see new speakers and different ones than what we had last time. But yes, there was a common thread that all of them were saying, and but they each had a unique way of sharing, and it was hard for me to pick a favorite. But I would say that the one that a statement that J.C. Lee said that resonated with me, and it kind of choked me up at the time that she had us do an exercise where we had to turn to our right, close our eyes, and envision looking at yourself. I was looking at me, and what did I see in myself? And what I saw, I wrote down a couple of things. I see where I need to improve my outlook, such as I need to stop comparing my journey with someone else's. I need to hold myself accountable and team up with people to link arms to help walk through this journey together. And I like this. I like the way this new age that we can walk side by side with someone, whether they're your upline, downline, crossline, it doesn't matter. And I love that about new age, where I consider you all family. You know, I really do. No matter where you live, where you are, I just love that about this community. I need to commit to the fear, as this is the fuel to help me grow into the person God created me to be. And I need to run this race like the time is now. And it is now. This time is now. I had a conversation with Jessica Broadway today, and I was just telling her of my goals and what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do. And I am so pumped and excited. So look out. Big things are going to happen for the growth of this company, for me, for my business. So I'm excited.
Well, congratulations, Lynette. I'm so excited for you. And I think big things are coming for you. I can see it in your future. So glad you were able to make it. So next up, we have Christy Elliott. Thank you so much, Christy, for sharing with us this evening.
Well, thank you for having me. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I guess it's a blessing that I'm one of the last people because everybody has highlighted things that hit me too. And so that just shows the camaraderie that we can have within our community because we all are hearing the same things. Also, it's been incredible to hear the people that have shared before me, their interpretation or their point of view, and have them to explain what it meant to them, because it gives another highlight to me as to what that means. And so you hear it in different ways, it speaks to you in different ways. So already just even this breakout session with our group has been incredible impacting. So thanks for everybody that has shared before me. I've taken down all kinds of more notes, so, but here was some of my takeaways. The very first one was Emily Varvra, and what she said was to be great, you have to choose where you put your time. And that hit me like a brick, because about a week ago, I have decided to say no to things that don't, that take up my time and my thoughts that are not business focused. And a lot of it's that mental, not necessarily the time, but when I have said yes to things that aren't propelling me in this business, it steals away from my opportunity to game plan, to connect with other people, to do the things that I need to do, that action to help propel the business. And so that was huge for me. Another thing that I had heard over and over and over and over, so it was in my face, is to have the daily action and to be consistent. And if you're not doing the daily action or being consistent with that action, it's not going to grow. And so that was a takeaway for me, that took personal. Geez, there's so many, like Ed Mylett with the happiness business and love, care, believe, and show people how to live better. Today with the taking your number and doubling it and doubling it, it was like, whoa, I got to dream bigger. It pushes you, and it's exciting. It's scary, but that was impacting for me too. Money is just a tool to allow you to serve others. I think a lot of times we are in this for the money, and but I think when you start thinking beyond yourself, it's really just going to be the tool to be able to help other people. This time of year is really, really tough on me in deciding where I spend my money. You got the angel tree, you got the Christmas operation, you got, all these different places where you could spend money to help impact other people and take care of basic needs. And having this money that you can make within this business is just a tool so that I can turn around and serve other people. The women's panel today, for me personally, including my kids, this business is growing us personally. It makes us better people. And when our children see us growing, being in a positive environment, because they're standing right behind us, they see us, this is impacting their lives and their future. Not only money-wise, but for them to be good people. As Andrea, you would say, to be good humans. And that was huge for me. So, core rank. Eric finished today with core rank. And we have 4x4, get gold, so that you can be part of the mastermind. And so that is so doable for everybody that is on this call tonight. And so I just encourage everybody to just go core rank so that we can all hang out together down in Destiny at the mastermind. It's doable. I want to hang out with everybody, so let's do it. Thanks for letting me share.
Well, thank you so much, Christy. That was powerful. So appreciate your heart. And yes, we want to raise good humans. That is how I would say it. So thank you for that. And Darryl, you're up next. So next we have Daryl Peterson. I can't see you.
Well, that's
but
good.
I'm
You
up
can't
there.
see me, but I'm here.
There you are. There you are. Hi. Thank you so much for
Hello.
sharing.
Thanks, everybody. Well, the good thing about being last is everybody's already said all the good stuff. So I've been trying to track through my notes to find something new. But for me, it was, it's time to make a decision, like Eric Worre said, and to play full out. It's the timing's right to to do stuff like that. About the brands, the 4 pillars, your standards, energy, appearance, media, you got to bring it all together to create your brand. Ed Mylett, you're selling happiness to people. That's what it's all about. The thing that what Eddie said was, for your people that are on your team, that it's like getting a new tube of toothpaste. You're always trying to squeeze that last little bit out of your recruits or your whatever. You just got to go out and buy a brand new tube of toothpaste. Let it go. And then, about the confidence, that if people are lacking confidence, I believe you say that Sarah and Tony Soliski, to build confidence, you need to start doing the small things, and the small things will build up your confidence so you can start doing the bigger things. So if you lack confidence, start doing all the little things to help you grow and get confident. One more thing no one brought up was Ivan Tappy, I believe his name was. I am a gladiator. You should say that to yourself all the time, to be strong and just like what everybody else said, you took little tidbits from what everybody said, like Tonka time. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to remember that. That's going to be on a t-shirt here soon. So the community, like everybody, I think this year I resonated. Last year I was in GoPro and I felt like I was there by myself. And I really didn't get as much out of it. And I think it was Anthony that got us our room or told everybody to go over to the same room. And I think I enjoyed it more and got more out of it because we did it as a community. I mean, but it felt like it anyway. That's just it. It's time to go. Time to grow, think bigger. So I'll get you back on time, man.
Well, you rock, Daryl. Thank you so much. And that's so true. It's like everything everybody says, I'm like, oh, I hadn't written that part down, or, oh, yeah, that was so important. So I love it. And my favorite thing about all of this was all the Me Too's, right? Like, how many times did I agree with each of you? How many times did you agree with everybody else? You're like, oh my gosh, that's what I needed too. And I love that about that, because it's, this industry really isn't rocket science. There's some clues out there, and I think we got a bunch of them this weekend, but it's such a Me Too industry that we can all relate to each other. So I love that so much. And I'm going to share one last thing, and I'll tell you, and I just want to say this, if every single person on here goes and buys a ticket to GoPro 2022, guess what I'm going to make off it? Nothing, a goose egg. If every single person on here goes and signs up for Accelerator, guess what I'm going to make off it? Nothing, right? If you get the mastermind, if you get any of it, I make nothing. Okay. So I just want you to see it from that perspective. I am not trying to sell anyone anything, but I do know that this was a powerful weekend. And if you weren't a part of it this year, you might want to. I will encourage you to be a part of it next year, because it could change your business. It could help you grow. It could help your paycheck grow, not mine, but yours. So they are running a promotion for next year for the GoPro weekend. I think I do actually have a share. So hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't know if the dates are on here. Nope, they're not, but somebody might know them in the chat. So if you know it, I didn't catch that. Oh, it is there. I just can't see because I'm a middle-aged person. December 2nd through the 4th. Can't see anymore. I need some reading glasses, but that will be next time. But December 2nd through the 4th, if you purchase it, it was supposed to be till midnight tonight, but there was some kind of glitch. So works good for us. You have until midnight tomorrow night in Pacific time, and it'll be $97. Okay. So grab yourself a ticket. It's $97. I will say that I was a part of the Accelerator program last year. I thought it was phenomenal. I didn't give it my all, so I signed up again for this year, and I'm going to give it my all. So I cannot wait And that actually, we have a Zoom, I believe, tomorrow to kick that off. So if that's something you guys consider or considering, know that you're going to be in good company, because I know a few of us on here have already signed up. And again, it doesn't make any difference to us. We just love you, and we huge this event was that we do get to be together. We did get to, see each other's faces and comment and be in some breakout groups with some of our familiar folks. And that made a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much for that. But guys, thanks for tonight. Each of you are phenomenal. It's telling me my internet's unstable, so hopefully you can still hear me. But I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing your heart and your wisdom and your notes with all of us. And I cannot wait to see you all back here next Sunday. So y'all have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Well done, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.